BreAunna tutorials, lives, reviews, yeah, all that. BreAunna, not the little one. Hey, what you mean? Big box braids on your top, yeah, add it up. Gang finna hit a milli, yeah, add it up. Penna, can you post a vid? I've been really booked and busy, but I got you, sis. Big subs, box braids, and they tug. Dropping gems, tell your friends, yeah, let's run it up. Big likes, drop a comment or we finna fight. Cause why wouldn't you like, comment, and subscribe to my videos? Like, that's weird. What is poppin' YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Dopeaxxpana, and today I have my favorite male model, really my only male model, Kevin, and today we're going to be doing 4 stitch braids on him, but we're putting a little twist in the middle. I love Kevin because he always is just like, let's keep it simple, especially since I've been pregnant, but you know, we always just do something that has a little bit of razzle dazzle to it. So I actually have a lot of videos of Kevin that I have not edited yet, so I'll be bringing you guys some men's hairstyles. I'm actually looking for male models, so if you guys know anyone in the Bay Area who would like to be a male model, tell them to reach out to me because Kevin ditched me. He moved, guys. I was so sad. It's just such a great time. Every time he's here, he always brings me food or just anything for a token of appreciation, and it literally does not go unnoticed. So Kevin, I'm missing you already and just our talks, and I can't wait to catch up, even if it's just on Instagram. But yeah, so these are fairly simple, fairly easy. I'm still going to be using my product like I would do for a regular stitch braid. I am using the same method that I always use, but it is tricky when you use this method and you're doing it on thicker hair or like thicker braids. So I'm going to be doing a video pretty soon just showing you guys like basic cornrows and different techniques to get your stitches, because the technique that I use is not going to work for every single client and every single head shape and every single density. So I think it's important to kind of show you guys how I navigate through that. So Kevin and I actually have a Pinterest board together, and typically right before his appointment he'll send me a couple pictures of some styles that he's interested in, and we kind of recreate those styles. So these are not necessarily freestyles, but kind of like ideas that we got off of Pinterest. And because his hair is really long, we are going to be putting beads on the end of them, just to kind of like spice it up and, you know, give it a little bit of a razzle dazzle. So for his center braids, I'm going to be doing, it's not like a cross. I really honestly don't know what it is. It's kind of like a star. But basically I'm going to be doing braids that are going to go down and then upward, and they're going to feed into those middle cornrows. I really don't know how to explain it, but you guys will kind of see like what it looks like. It almost looks like a star in the middle of his head, but instead of having like, you know, the 5 points, it only has a couple. I don't really know, but you guys can see what I'm doing here just to kind of spice it up and give it a little bit of flair. So I started off by doing the 2 braids on the side. I'm gonna put the design in the middle, and then we will do those 2 cornrows. So one thing I noticed about Kevin's hair is his hair always looks so much neater to me before I do the finishing touches. I feel like right now, looking at his braids, my stitches are really defined and you can kind of really see them. And after I apply the mousse, sometimes I feel like it kind of takes away from the stitching. If that is happening to you, then it is probably a gripping issue. And I'm noticing that as I'm molding his hair, because these braids are thicker and because, you know, Kevin just has really thick hair, you want to make sure that you're parting your braid down the middle and also molding the inside. That will help to give you a better grip and just more control. And for some reason, I'm not sure why I didn't do that on this style this time, but you guys will notice that after I apply the mousse, you'll just kind of see a difference in the quality of his braids. That should not be happening if you mold correctly and if your grip is really, really good. So that's one thing taken away from this video that I kind of just saw. I'm like, oh, okay, you know, maybe that's why. Whenever you're applying mousse on your client's hair, it should not revert. If your grip is good, applying mousse should not make it, you know, loosen up or make your braid loosen or make your client's hair revert at all. What also helps me get better control of my client's hair, especially when I'm trying to stitch, is using a product that is not super thick. Number one, that's going to make it a little more painful for your client, and it's going to make it harder to create your stitches. So typically when I'm doing my stitch braids, I like to use pure Neat braid. I'll leave a link where you guys can purchase it and try it out online. It's not my favorite for knotless braids, but for stitch braids, I love it because it's super flexible. And if I have a client whose hair is really, really stubborn, you can pair it up by using spritz and spritzing your braid after you mold it in, and that'll help you get just a little bit more control. But yeah, just a couple things that can really you know, help you create those stitches. But I'm looking at my braid right now, and you guys can already see that, you know, as I go down the nape of the neck, my stitches or my grip could just be a little bit stronger. It's probably because I switched my technique and I'm using my fingers. I typically do not stitch with my fingers, y'all. So yeah, and Kevin's hair is just really thick, guys. It's just really thick, but I'm not perfect. I'm really glad that I can go over this video and watch and kind of learn from my mistakes and what I did, and hopefully you guys are learning from this as well. So again, we are just going in with black beads. I love the beads because obviously it's going to weigh those braids down. You know, sometimes people's braids will curl up on the nape of the neck, but also it's just a nice little touch. It looks cool, and we went with black beads because I don't know why, probably because Kevin requested black beads, but I love to add a little razzle dazzle to them, and they look really good. Obviously this is his natural hair, so you don't need to dip it or anything. Once we put the beads on, it's up and it's stuck. We're pretty much done. So here I'm gonna go in with the Dope Collection mousse. It's just gonna add some moisture, and then I'm also gonna put some oil on there, and I'm gonna tie my client's hair down. Typically I would have him sit under a dryer. If I'm like in a rush and I don't have time for my client to sit under the dryer, then I can also use a hand dryer and pretty much just help to dry his hair that way. But before your client leaves, you want to try to make sure that you get their scalp as dry as possible. So now I am going to take off the styling strips, and you guys will see what I mean. On those side braids you can pretty much still see the stitches, but you guys will see what I mean just about the braids not being as defined as they were. So yeah, thumbs up if you guys like this video. Let me know if you guys want to see more male content, and as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you guys in my next video. What you mean you don't know Panna? She's dope. What you mean? What you mean? What you mean? What you mean?